Casino. Culture 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 Casino. Oh. Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Oh. Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Culture Casino.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Culture Casino.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Oh. Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Culture Casino.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome. It is a lovely, lovely Saturday morning. We've got issues, obviously, across the state of Florida, as Brian McCann says. In addition, there are issues still in most of the southeast post Helena. So, pretty interesting end of the tornadoes. Excuse me, the hurricane season, and seemingly stuff. It's going to be harder and harder for people to participate in the selection of leaders, which is kind of unfortunate. So for those of you in those areas, do remember to get out and participate in early, leader selection, and also do that in all the way through and into election day. So don't miss it, folks. Very, very important. Um, there's a lot of weird, interesting stories today to dive into. Some things that have surprised the mainstream folks a little bit. And I think that that's a good place to be. But let's say hi to each and every one of you as I highlighted people as we were getting started. Q2Cast TV, the lovely Jillian N, the Weatherman, John Graber, Tom F, a few other folks that popped in. As I mentioned, Brian McCain. You had me get cut off there. That was really odd. Seriously odd interruption there. Hopefully, you all stuck with me. And we stayed live. How crazy is that? Let's see. We got Vistra in the house. Banger theme music. Well, thank you. Emilio. Hello. Hey, there's Rail Wade. What's up, buddy? Celebrating today. Come join me later. Well, all right. Sounds good. Need to celebrate Real Wade Nation Gaming. Go check that out. We got the Red Dawn Batman in the house this morning and many more. So hopefully I stayed on the line. Let me double check the stream. Share the stream, share the dream. Looks like it's still up and running. All right. Well, let's jump into the first story of the day. I think we've only got 4. We can probably get through every bit of well, a little bit of news. A little bit of news. Starting with the Clown Prince of Crime, except not so much. Not so much. Terrifier 3 is laughing all the way to the bank with a $15 million plus opening weekend. It did quite well, almost $8 million, as Q2 Cast TV pointed out, just for Friday. The first 10 minutes of the film are a little intense. If you've never been to a Terrifier or seen one, you might want to do that before you go see this in theaters. It will disturb and disgust you in new and interesting ways, and that's kind of the point of the franchise. But a lot of people really enjoy these films, and if you're looking for that kind of horror, well, there you go. The level of disgust is high in this one, so just suit up for that if that's your jam. I do have a few friends that really enjoy that kind of horror. We got Scott Westbrook with 5 Culture Casino cash, giving me the pair that says "Keep it up." That's right, I definitely need to keep it up. And on top of it all, the beautiful Deeple is here. Good to see you, my friend. Over there on the green machine. It looks like I may have lost, or X, excuse me. Hi, Deeple on X. Sorry about that. But yeah, and Joker 2 is very, very, very bad indeed. In fact, it's basically been displaced, at least on Friday. Looking at just that alone, Terrifier 3, 7.7 million. That's amazing. It's only in 2,500 theaters, so it's just pounding away on everything else that's in the box office. The numbers haven't updated today, so they have an inaccurate reading at the box office right now. But the this is really marketed just to, as they say here, just marketed to the fan base and the social media reach. Um, I guess it reaches about 80 million people on social media, so there's a lot to it. You are looking at this. While light in reach, the top cast Lauren Lavera at 166,000 and David Howard Thornton at 133,000 are activated, meaning they are promoting this. Now, you go check out the official Terrifier 2 trailer. It's a little rough. Second place for the weekend, at least starting Friday anyway, is going to be The Wild Robot, which is doing well, 3.6 million. Third is, of course, Joker Folie à Deux, which is the second Friday at 2.8 million. This film is toasty. And it's going to be keeping almost all, if not all, of its IMAX theaters. They're trying to say, let's not make any judgments until Saturday morning. It's tanking hard. It's over. Nobody likes Joker. It will finish at the bottom of the barrel. And good for it. I'm glad. But the Thursday previews for Terrifier was 2.6 million, so it did really well. Little over, or right around 5 million. They really do think that Joker 2 is going to be quite the flop, and I'm with them. Anyway, I thought it'd be fun to get that out of the way. Sorry, it was a rough night. Hopefully y'all got a chance to watch the films you were interested in. There aren't going to be that many until we get closer to Christmas, I don't think. Maybe one or two here or there, or if Terrifier 3 is your thing, enjoy that. Yeah, gore horror is not a big. It's not big for most people, but a lot of people like it. So, yeah. We got Mark Fields out there for $2 saying, "Keep it up, good sir. You do a wonderful job." Well, thank you very much. I'm not sure yawning during the stream is super professional, but I try. I want to say thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. I don't watch many horror flicks, but Cannibal Holocaust was really unsettling when I saw it decades ago. There's a lot of things that will definitely reset your bearings. That's for sure. Superior Nav says, I watched the first Terrifier. I thought it looked like a student film. Yeah, it got a little bit better in 2. I would imagine it gets even better in 3. Again, a lot of horror films don't really have like the kind of production quality that other things in Hollywood do. It doesn't really bother me. I like a little bit of campy horror, but like I said, Terrifier may not be for everybody. Let's just be honest about that. So let me see if I can line up my camera a little better. Ah, what else we got? Man, I got a lot of videos to record. Oof, I have so many subjects. Ubisoft stepping on itself. Um, Alyssa Mercante stepping on herself again. More reactions to well, if you watch my recent video from yesterday, there's a lot of reactions to you know the clout chasers that are trying to say they are aligned with games that get called out. And Mahler over at Moon Studios actually just did that. And another studio came out and supported him. We talked a little bit about that. If you didn't get a chance to check out the Echo Base cast, which was EBN cast, which was over on the Echo Base Network channel yesterday afternoon. Myself, John F. Trent, and Loki all came together to talk about what was going on in the world. It was a good stream. I hope you guys get a chance to check it out. Oh, man. Got so much to get done today. Let's see. Gore horror has its place, exactly. If done right, JC's The Thing in 1982, which actually we'll be watching on Tuesday. If you are a gold member or higher, you're welcome to that watch party. It will be us watching the movie together, which is not usually something that you can do, but we're doing it. So hopefully you get a chance to see it and hang out with us. I'll be setting the sign up today. So do check that out if you are a gold tier member or higher, or you are a sucker with a lot of dough over on Comics Division's channel. So there's that. Q2Cast TV overseas hasn't posted, but France, it has a record opening, even though it received the French version of NC-17. See, there you go. It's doing really well. Let's see, what else do we got? We got Weatherman for $2, saying $2 for the Wookin' Man. $2 make you holler in Culture Casino Cash. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Our good friend Eric K is out there. As soon as they decided to abandon what made the first one what people like, they were done. Exactly. Yeah, that's why Joker 2 is a colossal failure. Sergeant Giratina. By the way, everyone, and Culture Casino, I'm looking to invite Hold My DualShock on my panel for the future live stream soon. But I'm worried Hurricane Francine will have made them too busy to reach. Interesting. Well, keep me up to speed on that. Let's see. Yeah, word of mouth is most important and validating type of advertising that matters, especially for films like that. This is great that we're having this conversation with X. Fantastic stuff. Um, we got Michael Krasinski out there. We got a few other folks rolling in, like our buddy Captain Fandom Nerd. Yeah, it took it to a new level of gore horror. Yeah, I can imagine, and he's probably right. I mean, if anybody would know, it'd be Chris. Just watching people exit theaters because a movie disturbs them is interesting to say the least. We got another super chat from our good friend Mark Fields for another $2 in Culture Cash. Says, "What horror film did you like?" I like almost all horror films. I like bad horror films. I like good horror films. One of the best follows on Twitter used to be Shore. She popped on the show a few weeks ago. I don't know if you guys remember, but I mean, in the chat, and that stands for duty horror, right? Shore. And anyway, she has some great takes, and I mean I like the stuff that has a lot of camp or is over the top or crazy like that. But my favorite is psychological horror, and it's funny. We always try to couch certain things in different ways. There's a lot of comedic elements to Ghostbusters, but technically that was a horror movie. There is, but there's a lot of stuff in there that I love. I mean, I'm a freak. I love aliens, um, Predator, um, action horror. Um, but I like everything. Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Friday the 13th. I'm an old school guy. Psycho is still one of the better ones. Again, psychological horror is where you get people. It's one of the things that I like about haunted houses, haunts, is that it's all a psychological buildup. Everything that you're experiencing is there to put you at your greatest anxiety. It's one of the other reasons why people frequently use clowns. Clowns, for whatever reason, can either delight or terrify. And there's just something in the brain that the incongruity of a clown will create that anxiety. Laughter is a release of a form of anxiety and distress. Uh, Horror films are kind of the same thing. The opportunity to release, uh, to be engulfed in that anxiety, and there's a certain element of fun in being scared. So it's one of the reasons why people like thrill rides, the appearance of danger without actually succumbing to the effects. So a good horror is set up so that your level of unease before you even get into a proper haunt should already be set, and it should build throughout. Which there's a lot of tricks you can do. There's a lot of audio tricks and physical tricks you can do to create that unease for your patrons. Same thing can be done in film. So yeah, but I like horror movies. I mean, you know, I've watched several this year. Most of them have just been kind of fun. Dragon Lizard says, "Hail, hail, Dragon Lizard, welcome." Da-da-da-da-da. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. We got our friend Liberty Hall's cat in the house, and Jeremiah Hembry says, "I saw Transformers 1, and I loved it, and I thought it was really funny at some parts." Yeah, a lot of people have been giving that very positive reviews, Jeremiah. I think that's a good thing. I really do. We need more good films, and The Wild Robot appears to be a good film too. My favorite is suspense horror. Yeah, that's always good too, right? I mean, a proper psychological horror has suspense horror built into it. So, Liberty Hall's cat gives the Culture Casino membership. Thank you for that, my friend, which means that Mark Mall now is a member of the channel. Congratulations and welcome. Uh, Bear story today. I couldn't find a good one. I mean, the only real bear story out there is that we have a repeat winner for Fat Bear Week, and it's the same mother bear that won last year, who actually had her cub killed. So there's that. Istaphobos. Good morning. The lovely Jill is here with her wrench, and so is Penny. 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 Good to see you, dear. Yes, we will be having Sunday night. I'm actually planning to set that up actually after the stream, because then I'll have a free Rumble slot that I can set up. So I will do that. We will be having Sunday night culture at what is that? 6:10 p.m. Pacific, which is what, 9:10 p.m. Eastern. So there you go. Regular time. Which basically is just following Lorena Creel, who is back at it this morning. Congratulations to her. She weathered the storm quite well. Mladen Kafliev. I hope I said that right. Hi. Thanks for joining us today. Chile con Karma. I love that name. Aliens Predator. Sadly, they don't make them like that anymore. They really don't, which is again why we are taking upon us with the 3 Tuesdays we had available in October to do our watch parties with those films. So we had the double feature last Tuesday, which is still available until this Tuesday. So if you are a gold tier member or higher, that is still available. Go back to the community tab and find it there. You can actually watch the entire thing with us and our commentary, and then we'll be doing that again on this Tuesday. So hopefully you get a chance to check that out if you are gold tier or higher, which includes all of you that are high rollers. and roll by this Tuesday to check out John Carpenter's The Thing. Now, aside from his recent statements and displays of ignorance when it comes to politics, he still made good material. So there's that. But they really don't make them like that anymore. Mhm. Da-da-da-da-da. Cynthia Carter. Good morning, dear. Amityville Horror is really good. Yeah, it scared the it's that scared everybody, dude. I mean, come on. We'd never really had the kind of approach before, and that's kind of one of the things I really did enjoy about it. So there's that. Mephisto's movie reviews in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Um, have you seen Apartment 7A? Uh, that sounds familiar. Um, there's a point in time where I was watching, 300 or more movies a year. I would watch at least one movie a day. Um, so yeah, and I would go to the theaters, multiple times on the weekend. So I was a wild person back then. So I consider Agatha horror only to the fact that I'm being subjected to it, Mark Fields. But that's a good question. Anyway. The lovely Jillian N is incredibly generous on this lovely Saturday morning. Jillian N for 10 Culture Casino membership. She wants to see us sling some cheese.
Oh, man, that's some sweet cheddar. Guys, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. We're having lots of stutters and issues today on the production side. Sorry about that, folks. But thank you for being here. And thank you to Jillian N for those 10 Culture Casino memberships. Look at the chat go green. We got our good friend Pinochet's helicopter tours following up with a $2 Culture Casino cash super chat. 1408. Unfortunately, Cusack is terrible tool in real life. He truly is, actually. Yeah, it's a shame. He was great until he wasn't. A lot of these people just have been so ingrained in their bubble, they don't understand the reality of the world. We got Mark Fields again for another two Culture Casino caches. Have you seen the movie Perfect Getaway? I don't. The title sounds familiar. I'm gonna say I probably not, but I'll have to say there's a horror film out, or it was just out. Speak No Evil, that is uh, fascinating one. It's been done many times before. Hail Culture, what's up, spaceman? Excited to see a Cavill-led Voltron is in the works. Yeah, yeah. I actually talked a little bit about that yesterday on the 6 Minute Daily in the morning. We've got we get some interesting takes on that. I'm trying to put an article together today for that Park Place. We've got a kind of competing stories, competing rumors, competing narratives, let's say, when it comes to what's happening with the 40K film. So I'm going to try to break down the players that are talking about the film and what's actually happening behind the scenes about the television show versus the film. Voltron's a film, okay. Warhammer 40K is a series. We'll have to see how that goes. So we'll get to that conversation, I think, in the next few days. But I have to write an article on it first. So I've also got an in-depth research article that's about 20 articles of material so far, 21 articles of material so far, to break down what happened at Ubisoft. So that's going to be a long-form video and maybe an article over at that Park Place. So keep your eyes peeled. Trucker hats are all over the place. I've got a bunch of those in process, actually. Trying to get things ready for San Antonio if possible. But yeah. I like visors. There are visors available. We just haven't had much requests for them. I like to wear them when I play golf or tennis. But yeah, and I want to say thanks to the generosity for those with the super chats and the member gifts. I appreciate them very much, and so do the people getting them. So thank you. What's up, Guy Scar? Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, we do have trucker hats. I will have more trucker hats on the way. The boss's hat is actually a trucker hat for the ladies that are interested. That was vents very well. Lots of ladies have long hair like the boss, so need a hat that vents, and you can stick a ponytail out the back. So gotta love those snapbacks. Keely Chow, roll tide, brother. Hope you're doing well. And we got Lula Laza out there in the world. I saw RC out there. Saw a few other folks out there in the chat. You guys are great. Let's see. We need to get on to the next story, but first we have to say hi to Judicon. What's going on, Judicon? Good to see you, bud. And Al Butts is out there. What's up, Al? Good morning. Yeah, I loved Voltron. The cartoon was fantastic. I don't know. I'm a freak show. Yeah, yeah, I will Deeple, I will confirm that we get more offerings there because I like I said, I really like the those. I mean, even though this is one of those, these fitted hats, which comes in two sizes. Um, I have a lot of hair, so if I'm outside, I need something that vents a little more. Yeah, Big Trouble in San Antonio. That's right. Starring Jack Casino. Hey, what's coming up here soon? Be in San Antonio real quick. The end of the month's coming up. All right, we're going to get to the next story of the day, which is actually an interesting labor dispute story. This is what I think Americans aren't understanding that are in the labor pool. They are listening to the union reps, the union leadership, and really aren't understanding the crossroads that American business is in right now. And what they're doing to force issues is not working. So let's pop over to the news story, which is Boeing is about to lay off 10% of its employees as a strike by factory workers cripples airplane production, which means they're not making planes. Um, if your company goes out of business, and Boeing doesn't have a stellar reputation at the moment, but if Boeing goes out of business, you got no more job. And if you are putting them at odds with profitability, they will cut back on the total labor pool. They will streamline, they'll go to automation. The feeling in the future, Boeing planes will be built by robots, industrial robots, and maybe an army of Tesla bots, Optimus bots. I'm going to get one of them. I mean, why wouldn't you have a robot to take care of a bunch of stuff for you? Basically, build your own production line. Why wouldn't you do that? There's no reason not to have one. And we'll democratize assembly and construction and design and innovation. Why not? Come up with a good idea, ideate it in a way that a robot can build it. Watch out, folks. That's the future. But Boeing employees probably just didn't get it because, well, their union isn't properly representing them. Anyway, through the story from David Koenig over at AP, Boeing plans to lay off about 10% of its workers in the coming months. It's about 17,000 people as it continues to lose money and tries to deal with a strike that is crippling production of the company's best-selling airplanes. And I'm going to say this, as far as airplane manufacturer, I'd rather be on a well-built, non-DEI Boeing plane than on an Airbus or anything similar. So there's that. Take that to the bank. But anyway, new CEO Kelly Ortberg told staff in a memo Friday that the job cuts will include executives, managers, and employees. The company has about 170,000 employees worldwide, many of them working in manufacturing facilities in the states of Washington and South Carolina. Boeing already imposed rolling temporary furloughs, but Ortberg said those will be suspended because of the impending layoffs. The company will further delay the rollout of the new plane, the 777X, to 2026 instead of 2025. It will also stop building the cargo version of its 767 jet in 2027 after finishing its current orders because, well, they're going to build something bigger and probably more capable in the 777X. Boeing has lost more than $25 billion since the start of 2019. About 33,000 union machinists have been on strike since September 14th. 2 days of talks this week failed to produce a deal, and Boeing filed an unfair labor practices charge against the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers. And as it announced layoffs, Boeing also gave a preliminary report on its third quarter financials, and the news is not good for the company. Boeing said it burned through $1.3 billion in cash during the current quarter and lost $9.97 a share, $9.97 a share. Industry analysts have been expecting the company to lose $1.61 per share. That's a lot, guys. It's $8 more per share. $8 more per share. A few cents per share. Dollars per share? Bad. And again, when this story broke, which was yesterday, I was quite surprised that they were being so plain spoken about it. But it's rough out there, folks, and it's not going to get less rough if you are a union employee. If you aren't listening to the company that's telling you this is how much it costs us to produce a plane, this is how much of the costs you are, this is the amount of money we have to make to, keep our heads above water, and your deal is ridiculous. Anyway, so there's that. Let's catch up with you guys. Jacob Gordon says Boeing a bit hard on corporate greed and cutting corners. Why do folks apologize for corporations? I'm not actually. I'm saying that they also harmed themselves. I've been very hard on Boeing, leaning into DEI and ESG. The fact that they are upping the layoffs to 10% and eliminating furloughs means they intend to solve the problem by reducing headcount and maybe giving in to the overall desires of hourly employees. The problem is there'll be fewer of them and the labor will be more intense. You have to do more with less. That doesn't help things. So, but Boeing is a hot mess, and it has been for a while. It had very poor leadership. In fact, any corporation that bought into the DEI ESG myth in pursuit of cheaper money, because that's really the only incentive to do it. The lies in the McKinsey report have damaged corporate America to such an extreme that they should be drummed out of business and held accountable by maybe federal authorities because of just their misstated results that have done nothing but destroyed American corporations and even our government. Look at what our government's doing right now. Bad policies. Mark Daly says, not many Star Trek fans in Boeing, or they'd understand the Klingon proverb, only a fool fights in a burning house. There you go. Layden Kafliev. I'm going to get it. I promise, my friend. I love the burning plane thing. That's cool. Mr. Stock's in the house. Plain spoken. I try to be. Olaf, what's up? Good to see you, man. Boeing needs to stop cutting corners and restore their quality. Yeah, 1,000%. You and I agree. They need to do a better job. They need to hold people accountable. We need to eliminate the corporate bloat, which is usually in the form of middle management. Boeing was a tip-top aerospace company. I don't know what they're doing now, but it's not reflecting well on their reputation. And the people that I have known that have worked there used to love working there. So there's that. Spaceman, I'm 62. And for the past 40 to 50 years, the unions in Americas have been fronts for communists who wish to bleed dry and destroy the very industries and workers they claim to fight for. A lot of people would agree with you. Again, there's a time and place for unions. There was a time and place for unions specifically. The problems is that you ended up with either organized crime in one form or fashion running them, and you just have to look at history, you know, and or you ended up with the very situation you're describing, Spaceman, which means you have a lot of bad actors that get involved and invested in them. It's not a good plan. There's not a morning you aren't afraid to stream. Well, Polly, I'm here for you, brother. It's good to see you. You guys should be checking out my brother, Latino Slant. There's Tender Warrior 68 in the house. Good to see you. And Empress and M, what's up? What are the odds they'll be removing the feel good activists? I don't know. They're gonna have to. They're going to have to. Little Mouse, good morning. Luke Korolowitz is in the house. There's going to be a poll for the first movie stream. Oh. I'm not sure what that reference is, but okay. Our favorite polar bear. Thank goodness you're okay, Snortopoopus. We were worried about you, knowing exactly what you were suffering. I hope you fared well, and I hope you are in good shape and good health. Thank you for being here, my friend. See, this is a good question. If that's actually where they target, that'll be interesting. My new wallet has arrived. I would like a new wallet full of money. Crisp $100,000 bills. Boeing needs to stop hiring DEI. Boeing needs to get their head out of their collective keisters and get rid of collectivism at the same time. Kimberly G. Killian, Shadowcat in the house. Good to see you. CC, my husband's father, was a rocket scientist and worked at Boeing for quite a while. It's hiring people who aren't qualified as engineers to do those jobs. Oh, believe me, I've heard. I've heard, Jill. I've been told directly. So, yeah. Argentum is here. Good morning, dear. Good to see you. Spaceman says, culture, Washington and the NEA may be the best example of that. You're exactly right. Weingarten and the NEA. I was going to say Washington. The state, yeah, they're messed up. No, but I misread. Weingarten and the NEA. Yeah. Yeah. Very much so. Man, if we could just get rid of the Department of Education, bring it back to the states to guide education, they would be competition driven to yield the best possible students, and return local power to the state that needs to be there. Because nationally, the Department of Education has been a disaster, with rapidly declining to the bottom of the barrel as quickly as possible. Very bad policies instituted. Biggles Met's in the house. Good to see you, Biggles. Brad McCann, I ordered an air mattress, arrives tomorrow. Awesome. Just be safe, dude. A lot of my Florida pals are suffering. Let's get into the next story. I'm trying to keep us a little bit tighter to an hour today. And we have two more stories to go through. So I think we can do that. One is interesting because this just happened last night. Bill Maher seemed to have regained some form of sanity. It's weird because every once in a while he says something that's reasonable, and every once in a while he just says the same dopey things. Um, but yeah, I know I'm a few minutes behind you guys. I'm sorry about that. But let's take a look at Bill Maher's recent statement. Now, again, this is a person who went out of their way to not say anything about politics so that it wouldn't divide the audience because they work in showbiz. And, I talked a little bit about them during a live show before. The person is Chappelle Roan. And Bill Maher commented on Chappelle Roan saying something that's very accurate and something I think we've all been pointing out. So it's like, well, this person made a good decision, but then made a bad statement. Bill Maher says Chappelle Roan would be thrown straight off a roof in Gaza following the singer's support for Palestine. Well, yeah, that's true. When you have, a fundamentalist ideology and theocracy in a given place, you're going to end up in, well, some very dire straits. If, again, that's how things are run, if that's the way the society and culture is. So showing support for this is a little nonsensical. But Bill Maher attempts to appeal to Gen Z. He's recycling particularly outdated talking points, according to this author, Glenn Garner. Now, again, this is supposedly news here. Okay, it's categorized as news. Do you see anything that says opinion or commentary or editorial? I don't. This is why I don't take anything that Penske Media puts together seriously, which means any of their trade papers and or the Rolling Stone, which used to have a pretty decent, investigative journalism reputation. Now, not so much. They investigate how can we best get the message out. That's what they investigate. But anyway, so the reason I wanted to read that first line was because this is an opinion by the author. What's opinion about it? Recycling particularly outdated talking points. No, it's accurate factual statements. On Friday's episode, the comedian used Chappelle Roan's recent political statements to try and school the Pink Pony Club artist for her fans and her fans on the Israel-Hamas war. Yes, of course. And he would. I mean, this is actual based on factual information, touted in a humorous way. So to mark the anniversary, we must launch a campaign to educate younger Americans about the Middle East. And the way I'd like to begin that process is by addressing a letter to Chappelle Roan, an open letter to Chappelle Roan. Now, to those viewers who aren't watching this while also looking at your phone, let me explain. She's actually a great recording artist who, like a Hezbollah pager, is really blowing up. A joke. Although Maher praised Roan for criticizing both sides of the political aisle, which is true, he chalked her perceived support of Palestine up to TikTok propaganda. Okay. Chappelle, if you think it was repressive growing up queer in Midwest, try the Mideast. You're a female drag queen and you sing, I blanked you in the bathroom when we went to dinner, your parents at the table. Yeah, that wouldn't fly in Gaza, although you would straight off a roof. Again, humor to mask the reality of the situation. The same goes for knee deep in the passenger seat and you're blanking me. Yeah, my guess is the morality police would figure out that one's not about the drive-through and unalive your feathered boa wearing self. When you sing that, all the ideological stuff, you're welcome, but offer not good in the West Bank. All of these things are accurate. So, these are not outdated talking points. They're the truth. Um, there's a real problem when people are celebrating an action that took place a year ago um, that are just terribly misinformed, let's say. But I thought it was interesting that Belmar went on to comment on it. Let's see what you guys think. Mark Fields for $5 says, "You're passionate. You love your work. Please don't ever change. Keep up the excellent work." Good, sir. Thank you, Mark Fields. I appreciate it. I honestly try my very best each and every day for all of you. And your support is immeasurable to me. And I appreciate the financial support as well for the channel because, hey, I retired to do this full time. And so far, it's working. So, yay. And I'm having a good time. TikTok is a big problem. Ultimately, it's owned by the CCP. I can't agree with you more, Jacob Gordon. I have a big problem with TikTok. The last story of the day is TikTok. You probably want to stick around. Talks kind of about that, but it's a big problem for our youth in particular. Argentum says, "I keep seeing this Roan in all sorts of ridiculous costumes while performing. Is she trying to be the next more offensive Lady Gaga? I think it's just part of the shtick of her Pink Pony Club thing. Um, and again, it's a very strange performance thing that is being done. Yeah, people do get very turned around in their obsessions, Empress NM. You are correct. Uh, Bill is not the same as when he had the show on ABC. That's true. What I really miss is politically correct. Back when he spoke very frankly, when he was on pay television, he could do that better. Then he came back to pay television. Very strange. All right. That one I knew was going to be tough. I need to take a break for just a second, folks. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Was trying to prevent choking a little bit on my, I guess, own phlegm. I'm a bit sick. Sorry, guys. I know it's gross, but I apologize. Um, what else? Okay, so yeah, Bill is definitely not the same since those days. Latino Slant says, CC had to drop off the kids. Awesome. I hope they're doing good, buddy. Hope you're doing good. Let's see who else is out there. Lulu says, I know we got better stuff to worry about, but if I could help civilians of both Israel and Palestine, look, if we could help everybody in the world, the problem is as a nation, we should not be meddling in all the things we are. We should not be the world's wallet and the world's policeman. They have plenty of their own. And sometimes our influence isn't the best. So there's that. Yeah, 1990s bill, great. And then 2000 happened. That's right. Very true. Stitch is out there in the world. Good to see you. Actually, the quote from Bill CC highlighted might be a sign Bill's back to his Comedy Central self, and that would be great, right? Yeah, I'm trying to be very careful because this is not a popular subject for the tube, but we need to get back to common sense, and sometimes you have to couch common sense with humor. Sometimes it takes humor to tell the truth. You have to. It's something everybody agrees on. They just are afraid to say it out loud. I'm trying to eliminate my fears talking about some of this stuff. I try to be as plain spoken as I can be all the time. And I can do that because I have your support. And I thank you for it. Speaking of support, Weatherman for another Culture Casino cash saying Culture Luke Korolowitz art has finally got 100 members and he's doing a movie for members. Fantastic. Well done, Luke. I appreciate it, buddy. Keep it up. Yeah, McCann always nails it. Indeed. We got our friend Darth Gutierrez in the house. What's up? Yeah, we don't need to be the world's police. We just need to keep China from coercing the world into accepting their ability to put docks everywhere, build ports, and then steal the ports and make them sovereign territory for China. If you don't think that's happening, you're not paying attention to global news. We got Conrad Smith out there. Good to see you. Good morning, culture. Good morning. Mexican Iron Man drops a $10 super duper chat. Thank you, Mexican Iron Man. What's up, Mikey? You gotta get Mikey to hang out with me. He doesn't like to hang out with me anymore. He says, new show, Columbus Day Casino. Watch Culture's holiday live stream. The twist, watch Mexican Iron Man transfer all Culture subscribers and monthly paid memberships to Latino Slant for reparations. I think Polly would like that. I think I've encouraged people to go and check out Polly. I think Polly's a good dude and does some original stuff on YouTube that's not being done anywhere else. Yeah. Argentum says, B-sides. Recovering from B-sides. Fine, I hope. Oh, B-sides. Kaladin says, I can't stop myself from thinking. Mar is just jumping from one aisle to the other and back to get the most outrage and views. I'm not sure about outrage. I think a lot of people are finally catching on that the anti-marketing is not working anymore, and it will lead to people abandoning you. I think generationally we have 3 of 5 generations now, maybe 4 of 5 generations now leaning into authenticity and truth. And we're watching in real time the numbers divide start to head the other way as the pendulum swings. So we'll see. There's RC. What's up, RC? We got one more story I want to get to before we wrap things up here. We don't have a terrible lot of time to do it in. So let's jump right into it. This is a story that was already foreshadowed because, one of our brilliant viewers here, supporters here, decided to get out in front of me, and about the fact that, we knew it wasn't we knew it was an op all along. We knew it was an app all along, and we know it's bad, or knew it's bad for kids all along. We're talking, of course, about TikTok, and TikTok was aware of the risk to kids and teens and what they face on its platform. And there is a legal document that alleges this. And TikTok's not getting a lot of favorable coverage, nor are they going to get the favorable outcome that they're looking for in court, especially with more and more of this material being delivered into our hands. They were aware that its design features are detrimental, to its young users, and that publicly touted tools aimed at limiting kids' time on the site were largely ineffective. Yeah, can circumvent them easy, according to internal documents and communications exposed in a lawsuit filed by the state of Kentucky. Kentucky's not the only people going after them. The federal government is as well. And the details are among redacted portions of Kentucky's lawsuits that contain the internal communications and documents unearthed during a more than 2-year investigation into the company by various states across the country. Kentucky's lawsuit was filed this week, alongside separate complaints brought forth by attorneys general in a dozen states, as well as the District of Columbia. TikTok is also facing another lawsuit from the Department of Justice and is itself suing the Department of Justice over a federal law that could ban it in the U.S. by mid-January. I wonder why they waited till January. I wonder why this wasn't accelerated to much faster, like prior to a selection of leaders. I'm just curious. Could have been filed for any time. Strange. Anyway, the redacted information, which was inadvertently revealed by Kentucky's Attorney General's office and first reported by Kentucky Public Radio, touches on a range of topics, most importantly, the extent to which TikTok knew how much time young users were spending on the platform and how sincere it was when rolling out tools aimed at curbing excessive use. Beyond TikTok use among minors, the complaint alleges the short form video sharing app has prioritized beautiful people on its platform and has noted internally that some of the content moderation metrics it publicized are largely misleading. The unredacted complaint, which was seen by the Associated Press, was sealed by a Kentucky state judge on Wednesday after state officials filed an emergency motion to seal it. Well, yeah, they didn't want the complete cat out of the bag. Gives the attorneys, the opportunity to say, "Well, it's created a prejudicial outcome." Well, let me tell you, if the public were able to evaluate, TikTok would not be here very long. Anyway, it's highly irresponsible, the TikTok spokesperson Alex Howreck said, of the Associated Press, to publish information that is under a court seal. Unfortunately, this complaint cherry picks misleading quotes and takes outdated documents out of context to misrepresent our commitment to community safety. We already know that's baloney sausage. So TikTok use among young users is pretty high. And there is something called the habit moment, as TikTok calls it. And that occurs when users have watched 260 videos or more during the first week of having TikTok account. This can happen in under 35 minutes, since some TikTok videos run as short as 8 seconds. Kentucky's lawsuit also cites a spring 2020 presentation from TikTok that concluded that the platform had already hit a ceiling among young users. And at that point, the company estimates, showed at least 95% of smartphones users under 17 use TikTok at least monthly. Yeah, this thing is addictive. It doesn't really make effective use of the quote unquote time management tools. I mean, this article is extensive and accurate. And you end up with a lot of zombified kids that are led in the absolute wrong direction. And that's not good. Let's see what you guys have to say. Pet Brett says, LOL, they dummy like beautiful people. F TikTok, but come on. Well, I have to tell you, I mean, aesthetically pleasing things usually get up more attention. I don't know how anybody could argue that. Argentum says, I caught kids watching TikTok during class more than once. Oh, of course. Yeah. It's not great, is it? I'm seeing a lot more school districts and states actually trying to control cell phone usage in school. I think that's a good idea. I think if your phone makes an appearance, it ends up in a teacher's drawer until the end of class. If it does it again, then it ends up in the principal's office until the end of the week. Got a real problem there. Shorts can be really frustrating. I can understand your dislike of shorts. I will say this: making videos about a given short is very fun indeed. Tomorrow we're going to feature some really ridiculous things. I think one of them is based around a short. So hopefully you guys can hang out for late night culture or Sunday night culture tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to set that up right after this stream. So hopefully get a chance to check that out. But TikTok basically is a way to further limit your attention span. Cognitive retention drops dramatically, and it just kind of becomes a video doom scroll from one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing. So it's pretty wild. Not healthy. Yeah, what TikTok is doing to kids is destructive, even if China isn't behind it. But then maybe that's the point all along. Well, there you go. I mean, look, the reason that it became popular was because Vine was popular. Uh, you can convey a concept. Well, I'm going to laugh at that, but it's possible to convey a concept in that short period of time. But there's no room for nuance, and there's no depth. I think nuance and depth are what's missing from society today, which basically crushes any level of understanding, critical thinking, or deeper thought. Yeah. I think there's no more efficient way to say it than that. Tom Connors Jr. made the best short videos ever, actually, about shorts. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. I told Tom he needed to make more shorts of his shorts. I should start making shorts of shorts videos. Weatherman says a 9-hour video I can watch at 2 times speeds, but shorts are just too short to enjoy. Yeah. Well, let me tell you, my in-depth dive into Ubisoft, which I really want to make into a video, is going to be a long one, long form. Makini Draws is out there. He's spending the big bucks, a $3 super duper chat for Culture Casino cash with a Shiba dog, my favorite little Shiba dog. What's up? How's it going, buddy? Hope you're doing well. I I don't have the wonderful theme song for you. I should borrow that from Loki, so when you show up, I can play it. All the ladies love Makini Draws. Canadian Spider-Man, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Lucius Nature Triste. TikTok is an addiction and not the only brain damaging one availed. That's true. There's a lot of them. There are a lot of them. A lot of people fall asleep to Mauler videos. Oh no, William Greeter's like, no coffee this morning. I've got coffee. Da, 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 da. I've had plenty. Da, 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 da. Yep. The future is AI created video using chat comments. Yep. It's already being done. Crazy stuff. CultureCasino, UK asked ex-president of Taiwan not to visit. I saw that. We're gonna have to figure out how to fix that. The UK is, well, yeah. The minute that they allowed Labor to win, bye bye. Who likes short shorts? Well, I like short shorts. Just saying. That's a great commercial. For the working man who is off today. There you go. I just want to say thank you to those that support the channel in every way. Please check out the video about Alyssa Mercante I dropped yesterday if you haven't already. And if you have, go watch it again. Share it around. One of the best ways to support the channel is to immediately check out one of my other videos. And I will truly appreciate it. I have another video I will finish up editing here shortly and get that out on the channel this afternoon. And for those of you across the globe, I appreciate your support. Wherever you are, whatever time you're watching, you're amazing. If you're watching this on the replay, please let me know in the comment section down below. Replay gang. I appreciate that. And when you do leave a comment, please note that I try to read each and every one if I don't actually get a chance to respond to them. And they mean the world to me and kind of help me figure out what I'm going to talk about next. We've got obviously the Sunday show coming up tomorrow night. Hopefully you will enjoy that. Lots of great things I've set aside and already warned my panelists that we were going to be talking about. And when I say warned, I mean warned, because while it will be humorous, it'll also be a tightrope, especially when we're trying to keep it PG-13. So hopefully you get a chance to check out the other channel, That Game Place. We've got lots of great game videos over there. Be working on a few more of those this weekend. And I hope everybody has an incredible Saturday and a lovely weekend. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others. And until next time, go check out Salty Nerd Podcast coming up in an hour. See ya. Thank you, Lucius Nature Triste, for your member chat. I appreciate that very much. Hit the like button. That's right, hit the like button. Culture Casino.
Culture Casino. Culture Casino.
Have an incredible weekend.
Culture Casino. Oh, Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Oh, Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Culture Casino. Culture Casino.